All right, let's get one thing straight. Most of what you think you know about sex, especially in long-term relationships, is probably off the mark. We're told desire should hit like a thunderbolt, that 3 times a week is the right amount, and if the spark fades, maybe we're broken. Here's the truth. It's not that simple, and that's okay. Today we're diving into facts, no fluff, no filters, about why so many of us are left unsatisfied and what actually makes a difference. So if you're ready for the facts, hit subscribe. And let's be real. If you don't, your sex life might just stay complicated. 1. Society's portrayal of desire is misleading. Let's get real. The idea of spontaneous desire, feeling an uncontrollable urge at any random moment, is a myth for most of us. Society sells this image of an instant spark that should just happen, especially in long-term relationships. The reality? Studies show most people, especially women, rarely feel this type of spontaneous lust after the honeymoon phase ends. Long-term partnerships depend on responsive desire, which is arousal that shows up after intimacy begins, not before. This isn't a bug in your relationship. It's just how desire works over time. 2. Frequency is overrated. Quality is what counts. If you think 3 times a week is the right amount of sex, you're not alone. That number gets thrown around like gospel. But here's the truth. The actual average frequency is around 3 times a month for UK couples. Even more surprising, how often you're having sex has no correlation with how satisfied you are. Quality matters. If your mind is somewhere else, if you're disconnected from your partner, or if the act feels robotic, you could be doing it daily and still feel unsatisfied. Real talk? Make those moments meaningful instead of worrying about hitting some arbitrary number. 3. The real game changer, sexual currency. Sexual currency isn't about physical touch only. It's about keeping intimacy alive daily without the expectation that it always leads to sex. Little gestures, flirty texts, a lingering hug, inside jokes only you two understand. Make up this currency. It keeps things interesting and lets both partners know they're seen as desirable, independent of whether anything physical happens. In fact, couples with high sexual currency are better at navigating the ups and downs of a sex life because there's no all-or-nothing vibe, just a steady connection. This isn't about bedroom tricks. It's about real, everyday intimacy. 4. The orgasm gap is real. Sex shouldn't be an on-off switch. Studies show that men and women's pleasure don't always line up. Many women don't climax from intercourse alone, yet the dominant sexual script insists that sex ends when one partner reaches orgasm. What does this cause? An orgasm gap, where women often report less satisfaction. The truth is that many women enjoy other forms of intimacy more than traditional intercourse. Want more satisfaction? Break free from the on-off switch mentality, where you're either having full sex or nothing. There's a whole world of touch, play, and intimacy that's as valuable as intercourse, if not more so. 5. Communication is non-negotiable. For all the talk about keeping the spark alive, few couples really discuss what they want, need, or even what's working for them sexually. Data shows that the couples who regularly talk about their sex lives have higher satisfaction and longer-lasting intimacy. Think of it as maintenance, like you do for any important part of life: work, health, even car care. When couples openly discuss their desires and boundaries, it takes the pressure off each encounter and turns it into something both people want to be part of. So next time, try bringing it up in a way that's natural to you, or even just sharing something you heard or read. The payoff is worth it. 6. Pressure is the real passion killer. Here's a hard truth. Nothing kills the mood faster than feeling obligated. This is where low-pressure intimacy comes in. Think of low-stakes moments where you just let yourselves connect without expecting anything. Whether it's a kiss in the kitchen, a back rub, or lounging around on a weekend, all of these add up to intimacy without pressure. It keeps the vibe alive, makes initiating easier, and takes away the feeling that every moment has to count for something big. Just let yourselves be. 7. The reality of parenting and sex. It's not you, it's life. If you're a parent, let's acknowledge the facts. Kids disrupt sleep, routine, energy, and stress levels. The endless to-do lists and lack of personal time make intimacy tough, to say the least. It's normal to feel out of sync. Studies confirm that frequency plummets and satisfaction often suffers. But don't let this be the death of your relationship's spark. Keep the door open with small moments. Make plans for intimacy, yes, even if it sounds like scheduling, and lower expectations. Instead of aiming for a big romantic night, maybe just start with a quiet conversation or even a movie night. Tiny steps can help you stay connected, even when time is scarce. 8. Acceptance. Relationships require work. Period. Here's a stoic truth. Sustaining intimacy over decades isn't magic or luck. It's work. Expecting desire to just happen is like expecting your career to advance without effort. Sexual satisfaction in long-term relationships doesn't survive without attention, adaptability, and a willingness to shake things up. Bring in a fresh energy from time to time, maybe a new activity, a change in environment, or just a different kind of date night. What matters most is the willingness to nurture the connection, because real intimacy is built on shared moments, daily affection, and mutual respect. This isn't about trying to change the rules or do things better. It's about doing them differently. Dispelling myths and confronting realities makes room for a truer, more satisfying intimacy. One based on what works, not on what society says should happen.